Good morning. So Nari told me that yes, I must speak for an hour. I really felt pity for you people because I know I've been in the audience and I know how boring it can get. So I decided, and for two reasons actually, and secondly I want to go for shopping after this. So I will not take 1 hour, but I'm happy to talk as much as you want to because I am a talkative person by nature. I can talk, you can ask me questions, but it's not going to be like a theoretical thing. So I did make a presentation because I just wanted to have a sequence to what we're talking about. But otherwise, we can make it interactive and we can take questions at the end of the session. So the topic given actually, the chief guest, he was very smart. Handsome and smart both. He was smart because I told him, sir, you left me with the pressure of doing all the homework. You're a smart academician. So now I have to do the detailing of whatever he said. In fact, we chose many of the words and phrases that I wanted to say, but I can be repetitive, that's not a problem. So the sequence that I'm going to take today is that I will share with you briefly my story. It could be boring for some of the people, but I'll try to make it a little bit talk less about myself. But I also want to talk about the story of the future. What is the future going to be for the hospitality industry? What are the emerging trends of the industry? And how do we envision the future of the hospitality industry? And how do we shape the hoteliers of tomorrow? They can't be all become like us because then they will be irrelevant. So this is how I claim that we will talk today. So starting with my story. You are giving me some mic also? So my story, okay, so my story is not like yours because I am not a qualified hotelier in the sense that I never went to the hotel school and then you would say that how come you are talking with us with such authority. I wanted to do hotels and that was what my passion was when I was finishing school. But in those days, parental influence was very high. It's not like you. Parents don't listen like we listen to you. Okay, so my father said, girls in hospitality, in hotel, what do you want to work? What do girls do in the hotel industry? No, you have to be either a teacher or a banker. Both were very boring for me because for my personality. That's something I cannot do, to sit at the desk and keep signing the vouchers or even for that matter, I cannot teach. Okay. So then, but like I said, I am like an accidental hotelier. So my father got posted to Calcutta from Delhi with his job and I had just finished school, so we were there and he was really fed up of us because we had nothing to do and we were really bothering him. So he said, okay, well, you just get out of the house, do something. So there was a job at the Oberoi Grand. I said, yes, I can do this. So he thought that, okay, it is a fever that will go down and subside. But he did not know that that was the foundation of a career. That it was when I realized that this is exactly what I want to do. So I was working there as a front office cashier and there were so many learnings, and one of the small things that I want to tell you what I learned there, which holds good and meaning even today, is that when we are not hoteliers, we know how to laugh and smile, right? There's a difference. So I would smile at everybody because that was my nature. But I did not know I was not smiling in the way a hotelier should smile. So one guest complained that she was giggling at me. Okay, so I did not realize that there was a professional difference between a smile and a laughter. And where is the line to be drawn with the guest? So that is the kind of learning I got from there. I came back to Delhi and then I joined the Hyatt Regency because in '82 there was a that lot of hotels were opening because Delhi was hosting the Asian Games at that time. And many hotels opened, and I was fortunate to find place in one of the five-star hotels, Hyatt Regency Delhi, and I must say that Hyatt till date has fantastic training back. Their trainings are really, really good. So that gave an even stronger foundation, where I worked in front office operations for 7 years, in and around doing different things. But I came to be known as two things. I was a smoker at that time, so the girl who smokes, and number one, the girl who doesn't get tired. Because I would be happy if the person next to me in the shift wouldn't come, because I would have more opportunity to work, learn, and to me it was more like home, and more to do things. The more I would get to do, the more I would love it. So it was my learning stage, and we were learning. So I grew up there as a front office assistant to an assistant director of sales. Everything was accidental for me. And then I joined the Meridian, where I spent the rest of my life. Now I will not tell you the number of years, because you will calculate it then. Okay? And veteran definitely, associates with that age. But yes, for everybody's information, I come from the baby boomer generation, if you know what that is. Yeah, so I'm a primate from the 80s. Recently, this word was used for one of the cricketers by an Australian commentator. He took offense, but I thought it was cool. I'm trying to be cool. But I'm truly a time-tested hotelier, because I have stood the test of time. The industry has gone through ups, downs, crises. When there is recession in the world, when there is a war, when there is a flood, when there is dengue, when there is bird flu, who gets affected the most is the hospitality industry, travel and hospitality. So we have gone through a lot, but I must tell you, ours is the most resilient industry. We bounce back like a rubber band, that elastic, we come back to shape. So I'm truly time tested in that respect. Blue-blooded hotelier, because unlike, and I'm not saying again it is an age thing, but I think it is how we have been trained, that we will not walk in the lobby if we are not dressed appropriately. We will never put our back to the guests, never stand in the lobby with the back to the guests. We will never put our hands in the pockets. So that is the kind of things that hospitality has taught us. And hospitality teaches us these things which are not meant just for hospitality, it's meant for personalities. It's meant to develop your personality. You might think it's cool, but professionally, totally uncool. Totally not. Yeah. So that is what we have been taught in the hospitality industry. And of course, nothing can happen till you have passion for this. Like I said, I was that girl who never got tired. So any ex-colleague that I meet, still from the Hyatt after 30, I didn't want to tell you, after 30 years also, they'll say, oh, you were that, high energy person today. So yeah, and how was that possible? You can't, till the time it's not coming from here, till the time you don't have that passion. So that passion was there, and it was an undying, and people tell me that how can you be so excited about things even now, after so many years? It amazes me also sometimes. But whenever, like last end of this month, December, we opened a new restaurant. I was so super excited because this was happening, that even some of my colleagues said, you can still get excited about these things, you have done it so many times. The excitement is because you're doing something new. And there have been times, and I will not lie there, that you feel down and you feel that, kitne time se ye kar rahe, kya hai, what is this? But I'll tell you something, you have to motivate yourself. Pick up a new project every time you feel like that. Pick up something new. So like COVID, it was so boring. Because we had a habit of talking to people all the time. We talk to guests. I had nobody to talk to. So then we had these Vande Bharat, those patients who were coming, not patients, the quarantine guests who were coming. So they were in their rooms, we were not allowed to meet them, but nobody told us not to talk to them. So I used to call up everybody, how are you feeling, I hope you're okay, this, that, because we had to do something. And it is during this time also that I took up a professional degree with Stanford University, and I took up a course. In 2004 also I went like the accidental hotelier. I didn't want to be labeled like that. And I wanted to see what was in the education that they teach you that I haven't learned. So I took up a course with Cornell University that was to prepare me for the general manager. So I spent 3 months at the campus to do that program in 2004. So that was a good learning. I was asked, what did you learn there? I said it only taught me the system of doing things that I keep doing. So I think that is what education is all about. It gives you a meaning and it gives you a sense of like a system to do what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So now I wanted to talk about a little bit about from where I come and where we are going. So when we were in the hotel industry at the Hyatt, I remember we were at this much distance from the glass door where ma'am is sitting, and the mandate given to us, or the SOP was, when the guest is opening the glass door, you should have his keys ready. Today I know there are no keys. We used to have metal keys at that time, right? So when the guests enter means that you have to remember the name and the room number of each guest. And we would compete with each other to do that, So it's an entry. Morning sir, here's your key. Evening sir, here's your key. So that is the kind of generation I'm coming from. Computers were just coming in the 80s. There were no, we were just getting computerized. Before that, irrelevant to talk about it now. So yeah, so we had a basic system that was there, which had just come. So that is the kind of time we are coming from. And now, when sir was talking also, what is the future? So this Futurama is a book that I actually carried with me. And coincidentally, I'll share you the book title. Coincidentally, it's written by another person whose name is Mr. Bhatia. He is not at all related to me. Not at all. I know his daughter who published the book after he died, Mr. Raj Bhatia, was a veteran hotelier from the Oberoi Hotels, but I didn't know him at all. So he writes in his book in 2015 about how will the hotels be in 2025 today, and see how true it is. So he says, I check into this hotel, Futurama. As I enter, a big screen comes in front of me. There's a lady on the screen and she says, good morning, Mr. Bhatia. Welcome to Hotel Futurama. I'm here to check you in. And she does the check-in formalities, and he says that I've taken aback because I'm not used to it. I didn't know. So he says, but lady, you look familiar to me. She says, yes, uncle, I live in the same building that you do in Gurgaon, in Delhi. So he says, oh, I didn't know that. She said, I'm so-and-so's daughter and whatever. So he says, then when did you move here? She says, no, I'm taking your check-in from Gurgaon. How true it is in today's time. This happens, right? So she checks in this gentleman, and then she says that, I can't talk to you more, uncle, because now the check-in time is over. 2 minutes has been given to us. My colleague will take you to the room, and then comes a robotic thing that takes his baggage, and through a virtual guide, he is taken to the room, and the services are all provided by AI. So this is what he had written about. So perhaps a little bit of that was happening also in 2015 when call centers and all were there. But we could not imagine that it will come so far. So whatever technology has come in today, and wherever the hotels are today with technology, this had to happen. It was the future and it had to happen. It was only fast forwarded by COVID. Contactless, mobile check-in, all these things were fast forwarded because of COVID, but they had to happen. That was really the future. And I wanted to at this stage take a small poll also, because I wanted to know from you what you would think of what hotels will be, but I think we can do it at the end of the session. So you will get a QR code and you can just go, this is a Google Doc, and you can just pick up, and whatever the results is, what percentage of people think what about what, I will share with you afterwards. Right? Is that okay?
Yes.
So, when hotels change, it is not only in service sequences or adaptation of technology. There are design changes to rooms. In the 80s, and that's the time that I was in the industry, we had more striking colors, we had very bold kind of hotels. The hotel that I worked in was the first hotel to have some stone on the walls. Dholpur stone. It was so different, concepts were there. When we came to the 90s, the hotels became, luxury was at its prime at that time. People wanted to embrace luxury. So, of course, today also luxury is important, but there is a redefinition of luxury. So, in the 90s, it was a nice carpet under your feet and a good chandelier over your head was luxury. And that was the kind of vintage designs that hotels had. But when we came to 2000, and that's the time our hotel in Delhi was renovating, and that is the designs of our hotel. This is our hotel room. So you will see that a work table has come in, and you will see that it's more simplistic, minimalistic kind of decor, serene, where the guest has more space to do and do what he wants to do, because decor had to be very neutral, and that's the way it is. So when we say that luxury has redefined itself, today luxury does not definitely mean a Persian carpet and a big chandelier. Luxury today is in simple things. Luxury is in efficiency, in a personalized service that you deliver, in the way everything can be made available what a guest wants. That is luxury today. Today, going away into nothingness is luxury. Going away to a remote destination where nobody knows you, recognizes you, bothers you, talks to you, is luxury for some. So luxury definition in itself has been redefined now. So these were the, we saw in the, we spoke about this, that the art and tech design started coming in. Technology, use of technology started coming in, even in design. So how is the industry redesigning its customer services? That's a very big question. And that's something that I guess you will be interested in. So there have been 9 big inventions that have shaped or changed the world in times, from times immemorial. First came the printing press. It changed everybody's life, because press, if there was no printing press, I think India would have not even become independent, because that's the medium that was used by our freedom fighters. The light bulb, the steam engine, because you could now travel and you could do trade. Telephone, today's world, you don't know that there was no telephone in the world, means no, not mobile. I'm talking about no telephone at all, no communication. Then came the planes. They take us from place to place. When I joined the industry, the fax machines had just come in. And it was an amazing thing that I would come and tell my father, I can put a piece of paper here and it goes there. It was something that you could never think of. But it had happened in the very early 80s. And of course nowadays, we don't even use that. We don't even use that. Before that we had telex machines, and I don't think it's relevant for you to know what that is. So personal computers were the things of data in 2000 that the personal computers came, internet came, it changed the world. It absolutely changed the world. There was another Bhatia who did Hotmail. That was the first one to come in India, Samir Bhatia, not related to me again. Then came the mobile phones. It was like somebody had it, somebody didn't. And we were so envious of people who had that big mobile phone in their hand, not knowing that perhaps a decade later, your life is in that mobile phone. You can go without anything, but you can't go without that phone. You don't need your money, you don't need your wallet, you don't need your ID card, you don't need anything. If you have the phone and it's charged, you have everything. It's in your control. And now is the time of AI, which is now coming in. And there have been a lot of things that we've been spoken about, that AI is going to take jobs, AI is going to do this, like the check-in of Mr. Raj Bhatia in the Futurama Hotel. We have mobile check-in in our hotel now today. Everything, like I said, phone has the key also. So the guest checks in like we check in for the airlines. We print our boarding card. Similarly, the guest prints his room key and he shows that to the door and he's in his room. So he does not need to see us. But is that what we see the hotel industry as in the future? Is that what you think will be the future of the industry? So, AI is there to give us efficiency. Why do we need that efficiency? We have so many people who can give that efficiency. We need that efficiency because today's traveler is not the same like he was in the 80s, who would be just happy chatting with the reception staff and go to his room after a good dinner and sleep. That's not what they want. Today's traveler wants to have control of things. He wants all the conveniences that it's humanly not possible to provide. And he wants comfort. Not possible to provide that kind of comfort because it has to be highly personalized. One size does not fit all. How do you do that? It's not possible. You can't have different types of pillows in different rooms. You can't have different type of teas being served to different rooms. You can't have it. Data analytics will help you with that. Okay? Personalized data for each guest. Not possible to do it manually. Right? So therefore, AI does not replace human beings. It just gives you the efficiency that today's travelers want. That is the real truth of it. So emerging customer expectations, we are briefly talking about in the 3 C's that the guest wants: comfort, control, convenience. They don't want to call for everything. They want the chatbot. We have chatbots. People talk to us on the chat. And it's so good. Why? Because it's not that I have left one guest dissatisfied and he's checked out and gone. There is a chatbot. He'll say, your boy has not come to service my room till now. And everybody is alerted and the boy rushes up. Right? So this guest, we could say a disaster, right? We could save this guest from going away. In the hotel industry, one more thing that I learned from that era till today, and all my people know it. No guest should walk out of your hotel dissatisfied, should be the motto. Nobody leaves the door of your hotel dissatisfied because that one guy will build your reputation. So therefore, this kind of efficiency has come in with the chat. He chats, we send a pre-arrival mail to the guest. Pre-arrival check-in happens. Guest puts his preferences. I get at least 20 mails every day from guests that we are coming, we have checked in, we have asked for this, I have nut allergy, I have this, and we had not heard of all these things before. So I don't need this. So there is such a good efficiency which could not be there otherwise. Hyper-personalization, we spoke about it. Embracing local culture. Now this is something that guests want. Otherwise when we used to put amenities in the room, it was chocolates and cookies because that's what the guests like. No. I was so happy to eat bakalwadi yesterday in my room and chakli. Because that is something I wanted to do in Pune and I got it in my room. So that was the local flavor. Similarly, like shoppers like us, we like to go and get the feel. I went for a conference recently to a place called Kanpur, where I had never been before. It's a small city, one knows what Kanpur is, being in North India. But I missed my conference. I went for the HRNAI conference, the Hotel Association conference. I missed that conference because that would only be speeches like this one. Because I wanted to go and get a feel of the city. I wanted to see what the city looks like. So I just took the car and I just went. because I wanted to understand the local culture. And that's what people want. When my daughter got married last year in Jaipur, she said, I want local things. Don't worry, mom, about my friends not being able to eat Indian food. Don't worry about that. They all love it. Just get me local food. And she said that she wanted to make an impact for the place that we belong to. So I want all local people to come and do the mehndi and things like that. And I want all women. So that is another thing your generation has. I want all women. I had to make an effort to find a woman, a lady pandit, because normally in India, all the pandits are men. So I could find one, and she solemnized the wedding. Okay. Authenticity, we spoke about. You have to be genuine. Today, you can be, when I started hoteliering, white lies was an allowed thing. You can lie to the guests. And we used to lie like anything. If we don't have a room, we used to say, oh, under maintenance, leakage, some. Today you can't cheat them. It's a show me. Huh? So where it is, what is, and some people still do it. I said, don't do that. Just tell the guest honestly. Sir, we are overbooked. It's not a crime. Even airlines bounce, sometimes. So, sir, we just don't have the rooms. We have overbooked. We will help you. Be genuine and give him a solution. That's all. So that is one thing that guests really want. And with today's technology, don't think that the guests will just buy that kind of bullshit. Sustainability in design and in practices too. So, sustainability is a big thing. Some people do it for marketing. Sometimes we say, it will look good on our this thing that we are doing. But again, authenticity is also important. So you have to really mean, I feel so bad when we order on this Blinkit and all that. Just look at the amount of paper that comes in and you throw it. And then we talk of sustainability. Then Amazon says that we are using e-vehicles for delivery. But what about the paper? And then they will say it is disposable, reusable or whatever it is. Sustainability means also it has to come genuinely. You have to control emissions. There is a lot of things in the hotel industry that you need to control, which of course now are a mandate. So there is no other way. We have to do it. But where I work, Marriott International is very, very, very particular about it. We have an online report with Marriott 24/7 recording what is the consumption that is happening in the hotel of electricity, water and everything. It's called the mesh report, and our chief engineer has to upload certain data also at the end of the day every day. Creativity and innovation. There is a lot said about innovation, but innovation is something that will never end and never stop, and it has to go on. Why? Because you have to create that kind of a differentiation. You have to create and build services for guests that are innovative, unique, so that they remember that, oh, I want to go there because it is. I know sometimes this innovation comes through, not sometimes, many a times through food, because the stomach is the king of everything, like if you can win the, guest taste buds, you have won the battle, totally. So sometimes you get famous for that one dish in your hotel, sometimes for the style of cooking, sometimes for the innovative cooking. Innovative cooking is what? Again, it has taken many turns. Cooking culinary has taken its own ups and downs. In between it was just how you plate. It's still plating is important. How you, do fusion or micro, what was it called? Molecular gastronomy, yeah. So, all these things are good gimmicks, but only there can be one winner in that. So, it will not be that everybody will start doing molecular and they'll become famous for it. Bukhara became famous for its cooking because at that time nobody else could compete with them, and they became famous and they continue to be famous because of their consistency. So, but there can only be one Bukhara. They can't be. So don't ever copy them. Don't even try to copy them, because let them be. understand the case study, but don't copy the model. Do something that is as good as them, but different. Because it should be your character, not their character. So, culinary plays a big role. Today, again, people are back to authentic. People are back to local food. We recently did an event where Sonali Ma'am had kindly helped us and her team, where we had brought in cuisines from the old palaces of India, because there is so much India has, so much culinary heritage that we have, that the more we talk about it, the lesser it is. There is so much. So it was from the palace of Saoji from Kolhapur. Then we had somebody from Mahmudabad. Then we had somebody from Dhenkanal Palace in Bihar. And then we had somebody from Calcutta, that place now. I'm forgetting the name. It's a famous place, some palace. So I'm forgetting that name. So that is because we want to bring out the cultural heritage of culinary cultural heritage of India. That is what we wanted to do. And some of those things are now part of our menu. That is the innovation and the differentiation. So if people go to Bukhara for their great kebabs and all, which I also love, because everybody has to go to Bukhara, then they come to our restaurants because we innovated it the way we did, bringing out the local cultures. Brand differentiations, like what do you think differentiates your brand from another? Anyone? Any one of you want to contribute? Yes.
I think it's the culture of the company.
Absolutely, the culture of the company, and the culture, when you make it into a sensory experience, it is your brand aroma. It could be the way your staff is dressed, the uniforms. It could be the pieces of art that you have in the hotel. It shows your character and it differentiates you from others. For example, when we renovate, for our hotel, if you don't mind, I'm not trying to promote, but just to give you an example. Our hotel has always been architecturally very, very evolved. So when we opened in Delhi in '83, we were the first hotel to have a glass wall exterior. Today every second building is glass wall. We were the first biggest atrium. We, I think, still are the tallest atrium. Capsule elevators. There were so many firsts. We renovated in 2004. We were the first ones to take this approach of making our rooms minimalistic. Wooden flooring. A lot of people complimented us. A lot of people criticized us. They said they looked like IKEA showrooms. Or somebody said no. But when they started staying in those rooms, they knew the practicality of the rooms was so, the efficiency was so good, because people had the control and to use it the way they wanted to use it. So that is the kind of brand differentiations that we talk about when we talk about sensibility. So what are the transformative trends for the future? What are going to be the trends that are going to shape the future of the industry? We spoke about this, juxtaposition of technology and personalization, where to draw the limits. So don't leave everything to technology. Human beings are very important, will remain important. The edge of humanity cannot go out of hospitality at all. So we have our role to play, but use technology for efficiency. Demand eco-friendly, tech-savvy experiences with health, wellness and lifestyle taking the center stage. Now this is something that has been fast-forwarded due to COVID, that people are interested in places where there is focus on health, wellness, etc. And wellness tourism in itself, and a lot of them come to India because of the Ayurvedic resorts that we have. Wellness tourism constitutes about 16.8% of the total global tourism revenue, and it is only expected to grow. So that is one area that India and our tourism ministry is also really working hard on. Hotels are leveraging guest data to propel a trend towards data-driven personalization. We spoke about this, enhancing the guest experience. So, data-driven personalization. Again, there was an example that Mr. Bhatia has given in this. there is a small video also that will come in which he says that, like I go to every hotel and I get a cheese platter and I get this and I get that. The cheese has gone bad by the time I check in. So nobody, ever reads it. Nobody ever eats it. There is a welcome letter. People don't like it. We were given checklist that you have to say the guest name 3 times during check-in. People get fed up of it. So that kind of thing doesn't work. Service is not a checklist. It has to be freestyle. It has to be your style. So data-driven analytics will be when somebody will tell me, for example, that you went to Pune last week. How was your time there? How was your time at this college? How does it know? Because maybe social media. And of course, we have to be very careful. We can't be intrusive to guest privacy. But if it is somebody who has the liberty to say that, he might say that. I went to a hotel once, and this was not very long, it's after COVID only, and I was welcomed, and a lot of hotels do that now. I was welcomed with my pictures from Facebook on my pillow. So it was very heartwarming because the general manager of the hotel was a friend, so I did not mind that, but some other guests can take offense to that. Right? So we have to be very, very careful. But because I am a hotelier and because I knew him, I didn't mind that. Sustained trajectory of digital transformation will continue to evolve with the use of robotics, big data, cloud computing, virtual reality, mobile ordering. Like I said, mobile check-in, all hotels I think are doing that. Mobile ordering, QR codes are there, people order what they want to do. They can order online also. Virtual reality, we have just signed a new software with a company in which the guests can actually draw the setup of a meeting room that they want inside our meeting room, virtually. So it is there. They can drag, pull how many chairs in the front row, how many this, what color I want my room to be like, what color of light I want, where I want the screen. They can draw everything. All the items are available. They can draw, pull, make and send it to us. No question of error, zero error. Zero error because you told us to do this and we did it. And the things that are available are the ones that are available. If he says blue color, then these are the shades of blue we have, you can choose one. So no error. Otherwise, when we do the manual FPs, we still do, of course, 90% are still manual, but international guests have started using Spark technology. So, I was not told about this, I was not told about that, although we signed the contract, there is an error always in that. So that's the kind of things that are happening with technology. Efficiency, like I said. Demand for staycations with a penchant for immersive, authentic experiences, hyper-localization and unearthing the soul of the destination. Very, very important. We think these are just good words. They are good words, but they have a lot of meaning. Unlocking the destination, like I said, I love to go and get a feel of the place. A lot of international travelers want to do that. So, we have tied up with, all hotels have this now, they tie up with tour companies, not the typical tours who take you on a shopping spree. These are walkers who take you on experiences, like if you're interested in photography. By the way, for this we have a special position in our hotel called an experience specialist. His job is to do this, to know what the guest likes. He is interested in theatre, so I must tell him that this theatre is going on these days. So this is the kind of personalization that we do and unlock the destination. Meridian, as a brand, embraces art and coffee culture. So we always try to showcase the art galleries, etc. in Delhi. We have tied up with a company, City Walks, and it's all again online. People can sign up their tours before coming seamlessly on themselves, and we will have their tour, we call them the experts, subject matter experts, ready to take them for that walk or that food tour or photography tour or bazaars or during festival time, the Diwali, Melas and all that, so whatever. All this happens. Rise of the leisure traveler demands an adaptation to his paradigm shift by offering amenities that are tailored to the needs of the contemporary remote workers. So a lot of people, so city hotels get less of this, but resort hotels get more remote workers. You know that a lot of people, youngsters these days, go away to Dharamshala or I don't know, Lonavala or somewhere for 10 days and they work from there. We also, and mostly people who are coming on business, they do not want to just go back after business, they want to enjoy. So that is what we call the business leisure travelers or the B-leisure. This emerged, this is a trend post-COVID, that there is a, like after COVID, it looks like, people have this undying passion for traveling. The way the industry is doing also right now, I think, in this last 1 year, I must have taken at least 30 to 35 flights. I have not seen one flight where they have said the flight is not full. Every flight is full. To any days. Kanpur flights were full. Goa flights are always full. Pune yesterday was totally full. Calcutta was full. Bangalore was full. Anywhere that you go. So people have the desire to travel right now. This is something that came up and they travel. Like earlier we could never think that I will go just to meet a friend to Dubai. Like somebody is coming from America and we are meeting in Dubai. That kind of get-togethers, we are meeting in Delhi, are happening. It's reality because people know the value of life now and they really want to do this. This will be an era for small key hotels near to nature, remote, which resonate with the quest for unique and memorable trips for guests. So like I said already, that they want to go to remote locations, smaller, near to nature, be explorative, kind of do things differently, walk around. I think youngsters are doing that very often. I am a little careful with hits. So this was a survey. This was published in in a research report of a company called Skift. Skift is a global research firm, and they do a lot. They have come into India and they do events and conferences around all this emerging trends and things. So they had done this, and then what percentage of hotel executives prefer what kind of technologies? So mobile technology. I think 53% of the executives said they want to work with mobile technology. Why? It makes their work easier. Life is simpler. Room has been allocated by them themselves. We just do push notifications on the system that this room is ready. And then he'll say, I want this room, and we send it back to him that your room is ready. We don't even talk to them. And I think for us also, almost about 30 to 40% guests have started using this, but they all still come back to take the key. Because that little human touch they still want. They still want to see the face of the reception staff. They want to be associated. Guests want to be recognized, definitely, still. That luxury does not change. Contactless service, 39%, but these are, like I said, one size doesn't fit all. So, youngsters today, and they just want to be on their phone, and they're doing a million things on the phone, and they just want to kind of have a contactless service. They don't want intrusion. In a way, I think we all do, in some way or the other. We don't want people coming to our room again and again. Automated messaging, that means the message is automated, like voice message, and it goes to his room. Accommodating work and leisure trends, 29%. Migrating to cloud, 24%. There are good and bad things about this migration. Accommodating impatient guests, 19%, obviously. Nobody wants that, but unfortunately we have all kinds. Reconciling with labor shortages, 19%. So there is shortage of talent, and the kids who are coming out from the institutes now, I don't know what percentage will stay in the hospitality industry, because like I said, we train people for many industries. We are We are training people for hospitality, but there are so many avenues that we are opening for them today. They could be in hotels, they could be in hospitals, they could be in banks, they could be in retail, they could be in cruises, they could be in Airbnb, they could be a startup, they could be in a Make My Trip for onboarding hotel products. There is a millions of opportunities that we are opening for our children now. And of course, then virtual reality content. People are still careful with this. We have tried with our meeting spaces and it's working well. And virtual reality is the future, we all know that, and we will, I think, embrace that change very soon. So what are the learning trends in the hospitality industry? I will not take much time on this. Work culture, of course, is very important, so we have to create a culture of belonging. So one thing is that we need to inspire our employees as much as we want to inspire our guests. Because if our employees are not excited and not inspired, they cannot deliver that service. Digital transformations have to be taught. So one other thing that is very important here is that use technology that is simple. Because that it should not be that somebody joins and he takes half a year to learn the technology. It should be something that is available in all across industries, like a pine lab machine is a simple example, but there are many other things. So use simple technology which is user friendly. Micro learning, small focused learning modules to cater to the hospitality professionals who are handling operations. So we need to have, because everything has become so specialized. Check-in was a thing, but check-in from behind the desk, check-in for the person who is escorting the guest. So there are different things. Crew lounge, this lounge. So there is a lot of personalization. So we need to have micro-learning sessions. Cross-training, of course, for flexibility and adaptability. All employees to work in different roles because it improves operational efficiency and that goes 100%. I can give you an example of a hotel, not naming, where the room service IRD boy comes to the room to deliver tea in the morning. I'm not able to switch on the lights because it was a very complicated system. And the guy says, ma'am, should I leave your tea? And I said, I can't switch on the lights. He said, where should I leave the tea? Because he didn't know himself how to operate the lights of that room because he has nothing to do with it. And he left the tea in darkness till I surfaced and found out myself. So that is something guests notice. It has to be seamless. It doesn't matter who you are. You are working in the hotel, you need to know that. Blended learning approach. Online and in-person training is the new norm, like in any other field. Training online modules and classroom sessions. This makes the training more flexible and associate-centric. So we have in Marriott something called daily questions. So we get one question on our phone every morning. So when you drive from me to everybody in the hotel, we have to do that one question. So you have, everybody while coming to work in the metro or in the car, they do that question because that is a training question. And we get marks on that also. Wellness and mental health training. This is very important because everybody has a very short fuse these days. Because we are living in a very different world. The world where there is too much stress, there is too much competition, there is too much, I would say, anxiety to achieve because you are competing with so much. Although you are not seeing that you have too many opportunities also. But everybody has a goal and you want to achieve that and you want to achieve it fast because you people are not used to taking time on things, right? So there is a lot of stress because of that, and there is also a lot of pressure. I don't know if it is parental pressure, peer pressure, or whatever it is, but the pressure is there. So it is very important that we have also started doing not only yoga, but we also do meditation and we also do counseling kind of sessions with our associates. which is very, very important, because half the time you lose employees because they came and they didn't understand your culture and they went. I mean, as much as 24 hours people leave because they don't like your culture. So it is very important to hold hands, which also you don't want to hold, but to guide you, mentor you, counsel you is very important, because we understand that you don't have so much time to spend on achieving your goals. Another thing is POSH and DEI training. POSH is, of course, prevention of sexual harassment. We have to ensure that you people are safe, that you do not do unknowingly anything that can bring you in a difficult situation. We want to protect the guys as much as we want to protect the girls, and there is a zero tolerance policy on that everywhere. DEI is another thing, and I'll give you an example of that. That recently we wanted to hire a transgender associate, and I really wanted to also, but I was not sure. I was mentally prepared, but I was not sure if our team has been trained for that. How will the team react? We nevertheless took the step, but it was a mistake because we had not sensitized our team on how to handle this. She left very soon after joining because I think people, unknowingly, people can make some comments which were not very healthy. So this kind of training, therefore, has been identified as an important training need for the future. So I would like to play this little video and then we can discuss the points. Don't mind this ad in before I didn't know how to cut it out.
For that same time period. I'm a hotel fanatic. 212,503 miles in the last 12 months. I've stayed in 167 different hotels. 167 different hotels over that same time period. I'm a hotel fanatic. I never stay in the same hotel more than one night. 3 days in New York, that's 3 different hotels for me. I travel so much that I've earned the incredible unobtainium status on Delta. Don't bother looking it up. You won't find it and you can't get it. You need infinite miles to get that high. And along the way, I've been through 7 terabytes on Snapchat with video that thankfully you won't find because it's gone. But why should you care? I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've learned from ability to make human connections. I believe we are people first and hotelier second. And that's the key to our success. I'm going to take you on a quick journey with me through some of the amazing hotels I've seen and stayed at. Hopefully not 167 of them, I'll only show you 7. Those are all in Dubai, in the UAE. I mean, look at this thing. That round thing on top on the right, that's a tennis court. The Plaza Hotel in New York. What can one say about the Plaza? We all know an incredible hotel. This amazing thing on South Beach, the Farina Hotel, where the owner commissioned the artist Damien Hirst to create a custom piece of art for him. A really mammoth skeleton dipped in gold. $20 million, but who's counting? And this robot hotel in Tokyo, where if you're a local, you go to the middle and get checked in with that robot lady. If you're a tourist, you get the dinosaurs. Thankfully, I was a tourist. Ice Hotel in Sweden. Now, I like my rooms cold, but that's a bit much for me. And the Marina Sands in Singapore. The alien ship on top, that's a swimming pool. Now, don't get me wrong, these are amazing buildings, incredible hotels, incredible architecture. But bear with me because I'm going to ruin this for you. I'm going to tell you that these buildings are nothing more than brick and mortar, glass and steel. And no matter how sophisticated, elegant, or beautiful these buildings may be, there are some things they cannot do. Buildings can't smile. They can't listen. They can't anticipate a need. They won't get out of their way to open a door or hear a clock for you. Because that's what we humans do. I've been in the industry for about 25 years, and I've learned a lot of things. I've learned that a guest in a hotel will really appreciate it if you remember their name. And they'll really love you for it if you know what kind of pillow they like. I've learned that humanity matters far more than buildings, far more than art, cars, or things you may throw at guests. And through my career, I've collected a lot of stories, as you can imagine. It's the hospitality industry, after all. We see all the madness that happens. 2 stories resonate and always stand out for me. And so around me, I'm going to share a couple of them with you. So fortunately, I have lots of friends in the industry and lots of connections. And I'm lucky that every hotel I go into, inevitably, I walk in the room and there it is in the corner, a beautiful cheese tray, a nice bottle of wine, and a cart with my name on it, sitting at a 45-degree angle against that bottle of wine. Now it's midnight. That's typically when I get to my hotel room. That cheese tray was put in the room probably around 2 p.m. That cheese has seen better days. It's sweating by now. I can see the sweat beads running down the side. And that brie, I'll spare you the smell description. You can smell it right now. And the bottle of wine may have been $10 or $1,000. It doesn't matter. Because it's midnight, I'm not touching it. And if my life depended on it, I will not take it with me because I'm not checking my bag. And that note, the unfortunate note, has become such a list. They all say the same thing. Dear Mr. Riley, thanks for being with us. We hope you enjoy your stay. If you need anything, please call on us. Sadly, it goes in the recycling bin. I don't even open it. Except for this one hotel. I walk in the room, it's midnight, there's the sweaty cheese, there's the wine, and there's the note. However, not in an envelope this time. Jackpot. For an ABD guy, you skip a step for me, I'm yours. So purely out of guilt, and a little bit of wishful thinking for karma, I say, what the hell, I'll read the card. I walk up to the card, and as my soul is being crushed, reading the same junk again, blah, 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 welcome, we hope you enjoy your stay. At the bottom, the card said, P.S. Most people think building a personality means wearing an expensive watch and carrying branded outfits. This is not true. Personality is how you express, influence, and impact others with a unique